Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Songbird's Nest. My name is Margaret, and this is Songbirds Creations, Crochet and More. I hope everybody is doing well this morning. Wow, good morning, Camille. You're number one today. How you doing? So today I am working on my hat once again. I'm probably just about got enough of a brim or enough of a crown to start the brim here pretty soon. Just woke up for the third time this morning. Oh goodness, Camille. Good morning, Marianne. How you doing, Twinnie? Yes, thank you, Marianne. Don't forget the thummies. Good morning, Kelsey. How are you? Yep, your yarn box seat is waiting on you, Marianne. Good morning, Lana. Good to see you. So I hope everybody is well today. Hope you all had a good night's rest. I actually went to sleep fairly early last night. I think I was asleep by 11:30 midnight. That's quite early compared to what I've been going here lately. So I guess I needed to sleep. Good morning, Gloria. Good to see you. Good morning, Linda. How are you doing today? Are you working on anything fun? What are you all working on? Anything fun? Good morning, Grammy Rita. How are you doing today? Marianne is working on the triangle shawl in the round. Not working on anything fun yet, just catching up on everyone. Okay. I think I should. Trying to point my camera down enough that you guys can see what I'm working on, but it doesn't seem to want to do that very much. Let's see. Yeah, I have to hold my hands way up here for you guys to see what I'm doing. Oh well, guess that's not going to work the way I wanted it to. You'll be working on finishing your video today. Cool. Good morning, Tank, and happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tank. Happy birthday to you, and many more. I was just waiting on you to come in, Tank, so that I could sing that for you. Good morning, Arity. Welcome in. Good to see you. Seems like it hasn't been that long ago that I've seen a lot of you. Well, a lot of you it was just yesterday, and then there's a bunch of you that it was just yesterday evening, not that many hours ago. You're going to work on a Tunisian bag for Dee's Mal and hopefully get another Brianna K item done for Crafting Kitty. Oh, Linda, you're going to be busy. Fun, fun. So last night we had a very nice sit and stitch for the stitcher hood. It was a lot of fun. It's always fun to get together with those ladies. The stitcher hood is really getting to be a very wonderful community. I'm loving it. Well, I'm in the 64 crowd. Thank you for having me, Camille. I really enjoyed it. I always enjoy hanging out with you and Lexi. We always have a lot of fun. Well, thank you, Lana. We appreciate everybody, even the lurkers. Good morning, Melissa G. Well, sort of and not quite, Lana. Linda, we'll count you in the 64 crowd. No, this 29 Club is on your channel, Camille. Well, Tank, I'd have to say there are days that I feel 29. I just wish my body would agree with me on that.
Huh?
Margaret does not have food. Chokri, don't do that. Don't tease the poor dog that way, unless you're going to get him some treats. going to have to stick this on right quick and see how long I am. Yep, I think it's long enough to go ahead and start the brim. I love how it did that. This looks blue on here, but actually it's a deep, deep purple. And I love how it has that big band of the purple. Fun. Okay, so now I can start my brim.
When are you gonna do that?
Yeah, Melissa, I'm pretty good at making hats. Something I've done a whole lot of throughout my lifetime. There's a type of hat that Muslim men wear, usually for prayer, and it's just basically a tight-fitting kind of skull cap. They call it a kufiya, and when I lived in Lansing, Michigan, I used to make a lot of those. I had quite a business, and I had gotten to a point, people would just bring me ones that they had gotten different places and say, can you make this? And I'd take a look at it and sit down, and usually I could pretty much copy what they had. Well, one brother brought me one that was from West Africa, and I could tell that it was done in single crochet, but it was very textured and it had lots of color in it. So I messed around with it, and figured out that it was single crochet, but what we would consider the outside was the inside of the hat, and then the backs of the rows just showing the little bump was what they were considering the outside. Also, an interesting thing about it is it had another thread wound through the entire thing underneath the stitches. They were kind of heavy, and so they would come down about here for the crown, and then there was like a ridge, and then would be the brim. And so having that thread wound underneath also helped with shaping that. So yeah, I used to make those, and I would sell them for a lot of money, and I've actually had them go all over the world. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, I love the sparkle in this yarn too. Of course, I always love sparkle. That's the belly dancer in me. Got to have the sparkle. In fact, I've got some beautiful sequins that might be fun to add into this, maybe down at the very bottom of the brim. Glitter strands. Ooh, yeah, fun. Several years ago, I was at a belly dance convention, and there was a kid who had a booth where he had made like little hair extension type thingies on and had them on combs so that you could, just stick them into your hair wherever. And he had them made with all different kinds of glittery yarn, and just they were really a lot of fun. If you had long hair, especially, you could get the really long ones and like braid them into your hair or whatever. They were a lot of fun. So I bought a few of those when I was there. Yep, I love sparkly yarn too. I've worked with a lot of it, and I've got a lot of it. In fact, I've got a teal. Well, you guys saw my teal sweater that I wore a few weeks ago. That's sparkly, and I've got actually several skeins of that left. I think it would be fun to make something to wear this hat and the cowl with. I see, I'm sorry, that's all gone. All gone. No more. You ate them all up. It's like, oh, darn. You know what? Let me go grab something. I've got another project I'm doing in sparkly yarn. Let me go grab it and I'll show it to you. Come here, Icy. Icy, come here. That's it. So this is my other sparkly yarn project. It's a shawl, triangle shawl, and it has a leaf pattern in it. I just love it. I love the colors of this yarn, and then it's got the kind of copper colored sparkly thread through it. Yeah, I just love it. As you can tell, I have whips all over the place. I have whips I leave in the living room. I have whips that go to the bedroom with me. I have whips that stay here at my desk, and usually multiples. That leaf shawl I found on Pinterest. Um, However, it didn't have a pattern, but I was able to get a close enough look at the um, picture of it that I could kind of count the stitches. I kind of just took a guess at the chains, but as far as for the leaf pattern, I was able to count the stitches, so that's what I did. Good morning, Lexi. Welcome in. Good to see you. I really do appreciate all y'all that get up a little extra early and come hang out with me. I know that's a chore. Only sometimes. Only sometimes you come hang out, or only sometimes it's a chore. I love your honesty, Lexi. So, something that we talked a bit about last night, um, considering what the Stitcherhood is all about, and for you, those of you who might not know, the Stitcherhood is a collaboration that was put together by Camille of Camille's Creations, Lexi from Helix Stitchcraft, and Lori of Lori Stories and Crochet. And what it's all about is to help support a domestic violence shelter in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Because they are close to Camille, she's able to take donations and drop them off to them. So it just kind of makes it easy to facilitate getting items to them. So she contacted them last year and asked them what items they needed to help out with their program. And one of the things that they stressed to her is that they needed queen size blankets. So that's kind of become our passion project, to create queen size blankets for the Stitcherhood. And so that's the the sit and stitch that they do every other weekend, Saturday night, is just everybody getting together to hang out and stitch on blankets if you're making them. Of course, if you're making something else, you're more than welcome to sit and stitch on those as well. Now, there are other things that they will take in donation. There is a list of things, and if you go and watch the first Stitcherhood video on Camille's channel, she does explain just what items are needed, how to go about sending them. So if anybody is interested, please do go check out that video on Camille's channel. There are lots of items that can be donated to help out. One of the things they do is put welcome baskets together, where they put in some basic kitchen supplies, sheets, sheets and pillowcases, cleaning supplies, that sort of thing. Just the sorts of things that you would need to get you started off in a new place. Because what the ultimate goal of this shelter is to get these ladies out into their own home, away from the violence that they've been through. Good morning, Julianne. Welcome in. Good to see you. So, another thing that we got talking about during last night's Stitcherhood was the fact that many of us have taken up this cause because we have been through domestic violence in our past. And that kind of makes a program like this, or a project like this, really near and dear and important to our hearts, because, having been through this, we know, more or less how these women are feeling, and, what it takes to get yourself away from that. It's not an easy thing to do. A lot of people will see a situation where a woman is being abused and just say, well, why doesn't she leave him? It's not always, as easy as it sounds. So, yeah. So, I do want everybody to know, anybody that has been through that or maybe going through that, please do not hesitate to get yourself out of the situation if you can possibly do it. No woman should have to do that. And if you have children, even if even if your abuser is not necessarily abusing your children, they still see what's happening to you. And that in itself is a form of abuse. So, yeah, so definitely, do try and get the help if you need it. I think pretty much every city that I know of has some type of program to assist with that situation. And yes, as Helix says, we just want to stitch some dignity back into that horrible experience. And that sums it up perfectly. Um, that that's exactly it. Um, because one thing that we all agreed on, those of us that have been through that situation, um, we all agreed that definitely, definitely, we um, all felt a sense of shame. And I think as women, we kind of feel that sometimes because we feel like we are a failure because we, couldn't make our relationship work. I think we as women, being the caregivers and everything, we all have the mindset that, you know, we we should be able to make these things work. And, sometimes no matter how hard we try, it's not going to work. And, we have to learn to accept that and not feel shame over it. It's nothing that is our fault. Um, so, why should we feel ashamed for something that somebody else is perpetrating on us? Um, yeah, I mean, we women like to think we are strong, but let's face it, when you're dealing with a man who, you know, is at times in a rage, or very cold and calculating about their abuse, there's not a whole lot we can do to stop that physically. So the only physical way that we can normally stop it is to actually just get ourselves out of the situation, just totally remove ourselves from it. Um, I know when I was going through it, I actually ran away to a totally different state from where I had been living. I went about 4 or 5 states away. The bad thing about it, yeah, it's not easy, exactly. The bad thing about it was he found out where I was. And, um, he did not come there, but it, it scared me that he was going to. Um, I mean, not only did I not want to deal with him again, I also did not want to put the person that I was staying with through that. I mean, it wasn't anything to do with them. I mean, they were gracious enough to take me in when I needed someplace to go, but you know, they shouldn't have to, deal with my baggage. Um, so, so anyway, all that is to say, um, if if you are in that situation, please, please, please do do your best to get out of it. If you're in the situation with children, try your hardest to find some help. Yes, it is not easy, and a lot of us have been there, Gloria. The statistics are like 1 in 4 women, and that's just the reported cases. So the actual numbers of people who are abused, and let's face it, it's not just women. There are men that get abused too. And, I would speak to them just as much as to women. If you're able to get yourself out of the situation, please do it. There's no reason that we have to stay and put up with that. There are enough people in this world that if you want someone in your life, you can find somebody that is not going to beat up on you. And Sometimes it takes a while, but you know, we just have to have our faith that if that is what we are looking for in our life, we're going to find the right one and not one that's going to try and beat us half to death or, you know. So, yeah, see, just seeing here in the chat, we've already got 2 people who say that they've been there. And then me, that's 3. So, you know, that's a pretty high percentage of us that have gone through that. Alana had brought something up to me tonight. Tonight is Lori's Stories live stream. I hope that she's feeling up to it. Icy, that's enough. Icy, hey. All right, y'all. I'm sorry. I gotta take the beast out. An average of 6 times of trying to leave for a lot of women. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, I will be right back, guys. Let me take this beast outside. Okay, go, go, go. Okay. What are we posting, Lana? Hi, Cammie. Ah, for Tank and Mishy's birthday party. Okay, great. How are you doing today, Cammie? Good to see you. Cammie, I'm working on my hat again this morning. I'm starting on the brim. So if I keep on working on this, I should be done with it by the time we get together again next weekend. Good morning, Tammy. How are you today? Yeah, Lexi is saying, I am a child of violence and was in an incredibly violent relationship in her early 20s. You tend to believe that you are the common factor, therefore the problem. And, you know, that's something else that there is a tendency towards. Those who have seen abuse in their early life quite often tend to be in abusive relationships later on in their life. And yes, we often tend to think that we are the problem when that is not at all the case. Yes, or turn into abusers, as Camille says. That does happen as well. People who are abused quite often turn into abusers. Um, it does take a lot to break that cycle. Um, it's not an easy thing to do. I'm sorry for that, Cammie. That's hard when, especially when it's something that you were born with, and therefore it's absolutely no fault of yours. Yeah, Camille, I definitely feel for you there. Um, and I just hope the situation that you're talking about um, works out for the best. Cami, if you are autistic, that's, yeah, a lot of people don't get that. Um, I think for some people, they just take the attitude that it's easier not to learn about it. I don't know. You were making a big pan of biscuits. Oh, Tank, send me some biscuits. Yes, we do. We have to, I agree, Tank. We have to break those generational curses. Um, and the thing is, we are aware of them and are aware of the fact that they are generational curses quite often. And so, with that awareness, we really do need to do all that we can to try and break those cycles. Unfortunately, it's not always within our power. Um, once our children grow up, our children are going to make their own choices. And unfortunately, sometimes they will choose a relationship that is toxic. Um, and as parents, of course, we want to protect our children and get them out of that situation. But at the same time, um, we have to let our children be their own people. And sometimes that includes figuring out that they need to get themselves out of an abusive situation. Now, if they reach out for us for help, yeah, definitely, be there and do all that you can to help them. But a lot of times if you try to insert yourself into a situation thinking you're going to protect your child, they're going to take it the wrong way. Um, and, you know, unfortunately, that can end up driving a wedge into your relationship with your child that, you know, you definitely don't want to do. Yes, every single day, breaking the cycle is a conscious thought. You're right, Helix. Yes, true, some don't want help, and I can't imagine um, why you would want to put yourself through that kind of situation. Um, it's very sad that somebody has allowed themselves to be broken enough that they end up, you know, thinking they have to stay in that situation. Tammy's saying she'd rather not have kids than be her parents. Her father is autistic and doesn't accept it, so he put it all on her. I'm so sorry, Cammy. That's bad. It's a sad situation. I don't know anything about Brazil, so I don't know if you guys have any types of services that, you know, you can take advantage of as an autistic person. Um, I hope that when you get into your own home, maybe you can um, get some assistance of some kind for that. Right, exactly. Being out of his house will definitely be a big help for you, Cammy. Yeah, Lexi, it is very sad when people don't want help. Um, Unfortunately, the mindset that you get into as an abused person um, really, I think, equates to a type of a mental illness. And um, you know, once you've allowed yourself to become that broken, it really takes a lot of concerted effort on your own part to try and break out of that. Um, I mean, I definitely recommend people, you know, going to counseling and all of that stuff. At the time that I was getting myself out of the situation, I did not have access to anything like that. And yes, the shock, you're right, there is a lot of shock that goes into that. Um, PTSD is a big part of it. Okay, I agree. Tank, I agree. Let's do some happy thoughts. It is Tank's birthday. Um, we have every opportunity to talk about this. Um, and believe me, any of you who are going through anything like this, please feel free to reach out to any one of us. I'm sure that we are all more than willing to talk, more than willing to help you work through thoughts, feelings, plans, anything that you might need. So, yeah. A joke. Oh, goodness. Now you're putting me on the spot. So I'm gonna repeat the one that I told last night. Why do seagulls not fly over the bay? And those of you that heard it last night can't tell the answer. Nobody's answering? The reason seagulls don't fly over the bay is because then they'd be bagels. You actually remembered that one? Well, good for you, Camille. Tank, that sounds like a lot of fun. Going kite flying on your birthday would definitely be a good way to spend the day. Cami, I'm not sure what you're saying. Oh, you want cake? Butter pecan flavored, no filling, but cream cheese frosting. Oh my God, that sounds good. I don't have any cake in the house, but I have ice cream. Finally got myself some ice cream. I have black cherry and I have mint chocolate chip, two of my favorite kinds. Why do you want to do that, Cami? Are you having trouble sleeping? Oh, okay. Well, if you're nervous and having trouble getting to sleep tonight, just, yeah, I agree with Arity. Just get some good rest, no drugs. Um, Sleeping pills are not great when you're nervous. They're not going to necessarily work that well. And then you'll have the problem of going into your first day of class being groggy, which is definitely not what you want to do. Mint chocolate chip is your favorite too, Lexi? Think you need chocolate? I think you need chocolate too. I agree. Chocolate is always a good mood enhancer. When back years ago, I used to work with developmentally disabled adults. And one place that I started out in was a house where we had two ladies and one guy. And he thought he was just something special that he got to live with two other women. But the two ladies were both nonverbal, so they really couldn't tell us, how they were feeling or anything. But the one gal, we figured out real quickly that when she was PMSing, she needed chocolate. And we would literally stock the shelf with chocolate bars just for her at her just prior to her time of the month, because she would go from being the biggest grump in the world to laughing and just having a great time. Chocolate was like a total turnaround for her. And that is very true, Arity. Worrying about something that hasn't happened yet does not help. Bear with me, guys. Yarn shopping is good for your soul. I totally agree. Even if it's just window shopping, it's good for your soul. It's fun to just go in and look at the different sites. That's why I love Ice Yarn so much, because they have so much yarn to look at. and I have just a blast. Even if I'm not buying anything, I have a blast just going in and looking at all the different yarns. Grammy Rita says, ice cream was a very big part of our lives growing up. We ate it 24/7, and no matter how cold it was outside, we always had multiple gallons in the freezer. Still is. Yep. I, I usually buy it by the half gallons, and I normally buy them two at a time, get two different flavors, and not always flavors that go together, like black cherry and mint chocolate chip don't exactly go together, but it gives me some variety in my life. Sometimes I feel a little bad buying ice cream when I know my hubby really won't eat it because he is being so careful with his sugar these days. And I know he wants some, but he normally doesn't normally partake of it. Let's put it that way. Every once in a while, he will splurge a little bit and have some, but not very often anymore. Car seat covers and other accessories. Ah, fun. Like Cami likes lemonade popsicles. Popsicles are fun. Mr. Softy trucks. I can't remember what the trucks we had around were called when I was a kid. Well, Kelsey, I hope you can sell a whole bunch of them. Ben and Jerry's fish food. That sounds good. I'd eat that. Of course, when it comes to ice cream, there isn't much I wouldn't eat. Have any of you ever tried wasabi ice cream? You know, you would think yuck, but it's not really yucky. Um, it tastes like regular ice cream when you first put it in your mouth, and then it has that little, you know how wasabi kind of takes your breath away a little bit? That's what it does. So you eat it and it's sweet and it's creamy and yummy, but then once you swallow it, it kind of kicks back a little bit and you get that little bit of the stealing your breath. It's actually good. I wouldn't call it spicy so much. Now I have had chocolate ice cream with cayenne in it. That's spicy, but wasabi I wouldn't really call spicy. Kelsey, if you are near a Cold Stone Creamery, that's where I had the wasabi ice cream. No fun, Cammy. And Justin Bieber, too. Well, okay. That's nice. Happy birthday to Justin Bieber. I'm not a big fan, but, you know, I still wish him a happy day. You eat and shop to celebrate? Okay. Whatever. I mean, I can understand you celebrating Rio's birthday. Maybe not so much Justin Bieber's, but hey, we do what we have to do to be happy, right? If he only opened his mouth to sing. Oh. We have maybe two in my area. Yeah, Kelsey, you would think I wouldn't want to sit here and talk about food, seeing as I can't eat anything right now. But actually, it's still not bothering me. You never had ice cream cake? Oh, Cammy, if you ever get the chance to have one, they are so good. No, Arity, it really isn't torture. It's not bothering me a bit. I think I've gotten to the point of my fast now where um, I don't really, I'm not really getting hungry during the day so much. Let's talk yarn. Well, I've got some special yarn coming. Um, I ordered a couple of Yarn Art Flowers Moonlight cakes. Um, they start out on the outside with dark blue, and then the center ends up like gold, like a sun color. They're so pretty. And then I'm also getting some mandala yarn in the Andorian colorway, which is beautiful. I don't know yet what I want to make. I think a top with that. And y'all, I am way over my hour. So um, I am going to let y'all go. Helix is going to be coming on. May actually already still may already be on. She'll be live in 5. Okay. So everybody, if you still want to hang out, head on over to Helix's because she is going to be live in 5. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Do the things that you love. Be with the people you love. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.